If you were a rat, you'd be able to squeeze into some very small spaces. Thanks to the flexible bones in your skull, you'd be able to squeeze through any hole that's just slightly bigger than the width of your head.
Okay, so listen, I need to explain what this is before we continue. So this is from a chat member, Rachel Rain, who edited this together from a show called Animal Planet. Animal Planet? Most Extreme. It ran from 2002 to 2007. So the previous hybrid animal thing I did basically inspired them to cut this together. So what we have here is just clips of some weird early, not that early CG, but just bizarre CG. Always green, always Matrix-like, which sometimes showed animal-human hybrids. I'm not sure when the illustrator made his drawings, but it would be interesting to know if he was inspired at all by this show. So, I don't know. We'll just check it out. We're just going to watch this. So, thank you for the edit. And I cut things that were similar to the animal-human hybrid theme. There were plenty of other gross bits not included. All right, here we go.
And you'd never get stuck in a pipe, because the jaws of the rat are 120 times stronger than ours.
Ugh.
That means you could easily gnaw a hole in a lead pipe, or a garbage can, or even cinder blocks. And if there isn't a handy toilet to escape down, don't panic, because rats are so much smaller and lighter than humans.
Here's my face
they
cam.
have no trouble falling great distances. With the superpowers of a rat, you could survive a fall from a 5-story building.
I want to be Ratman.
The muscles on a human body make up nearly half our body weight.
Okay.
The biggest muscles are attached to our legs and arms. To chew our food, we move our jaw using only about 1% of our muscle mass. But imagine if we were like the naked mole rat.
No! No!
If we spent our lives tunneling with our teeth, our jaw muscles would make up a quarter of our muscle mass. Imagine if we ate like a funnel-webbed spider.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine that?
A pair of fangs would be great for killing food, but useless for chewing.
Yeah.
So we'd have to make ourselves a little liquid lunch.
I hate the fangs. Yeah, vomit. Yeah, vomit now.
Funnel webs throw up special enzymes that turn their meal into a soup.
And then they suck it through a straw.
That's simply sucked up. First of all, the scout bee has to attract the attention of her sisters.
What is a scout bee? Scout bee, please.
When the workers have gathered, she tells them there's food nearby with a little bee boogie.
Yeah, this show's not serious, is it?
Scientists call this.
This is not a serious show for serious people.
Dance.
It's
But
bees?
if the food's a long way off, she's able to tell her sisters the exact location by breaking out the waggle dance. The angle of her waggle on the hive's dance floor corresponds to the angle between her food source and the sun. And the number of times she shakes her booty
I'm learning so much.
indicates just how far away the food is.
Oh.
All that remains
Wow,
is
it makes
to
a
show
butt.
her sisters just what kind of food they're looking for.
Yeah, puke. Yeah, everything's puking. Yeah.
Hopefully the waggle
Puke in the
dance
same
will
bowl
not
and
be
drink
coming
it.
to a near you. We'd have to have ears that measured 1/3 the length of our body.
Show
That's
it,
an awful
Howard.
lot of
Show
ears.
it. Nice.
If we were like the fennec fox, we'd have ears nearly twice the size of our feet. Actually, we're all getting a little foxier, because ears keep growing with age.
Oh, man.
A group of Russian
remind me.
scientists measured the differences in length of people's left and right ears. They concluded that if your left ear is slightly longer than your right, It indicates you might have analytical abilities associated with the sciences.
Oh, I have to do some measuring.
If your right ear is longer, you might have a tendency towards the creative aspects of the arts.
That's got to be me, right? I mean, I'm very creative. I created Grey Leno.
The theory is the difference in ear length is thought to reflect which side of the brain is dominant.
By the way, if you're wondering what I was talking about with animal-human hybrids, it was this stuff. I did a video, like, kind of based on this art. So this is what inspired this segment. Not something freaky. Just this. Not freaky, normal, just normal. Like this. All right, we can continue.
How would you like to have foot-long canine teeth growing out of the roof of your mouth?
Man, I see. This is what I want to do when I create a character in Oblivion.
Correcting that overbite. While our canines may not be as impressive as a Babirusa, they're still the biggest teeth in our mouth. But compared to the rest of our primate cousins, our canine teeth are very small indeed.
Wonderful.
Unlike the jacana, we'll never be able to trot across lilies because our feet are just too small. Your average foot is only 15% of the total length of your body.
Man, you got some big-ass feet.
But if we had feet like the jacana, they'd be well over 3 feet long.
Clown feet! I've made characters like that in video games. I absolutely have made that character.
That's an incredible 60% of your body length. Things with feet that size can be really scary.
I feel like I'm in the Matrix. Metroid Prime background music.
How
Yeah,
much
kinda.
iron you pumped, you'd still never bulk up enough to
Coming
match
because
the
I'm
fiddler
pumping
crab.
all the time. In Brazil,
That's
Rio.
because our arms usually make up about 6% of our body weight. If
See, we're
we
learning,
were fiddler
too.
crabs, we'd look very different.
I want to see, yeah, human fiddler crab hybrid.
Our arm would be 10 times bigger.
I know what he's been doing. Oh, this guy.
No wonder the fiddler crab has
Guys been
trouble
playing a lot of
carrying
Call of
around
Duty.
that huge appendage that weighs 65% of its body weight.
Charger!
If we were built like giraffes, we'd have another neat trick. With a 20-inch tongue, we'd have no trouble cleaning our ears.
Speed Luigi.
But the giraffe's most extreme body part is its neck. Incredibly, they have only 7 bones in their neck, just like humans.
Gotta
But
clean your
their
ears with
bones
your
are
tongue.
much, much bigger.
It's the dream.
Imagine if your neck bones were 10 inches long. Then you'd really be able to stick your neck out.
You'd look like a freak, but hey, check it out. See what you think. It's a skibbity toilet. It is literally skibbity toilet. All right, maybe it's a little longer than
But
skibbity.
living with a 6-foot-long neck isn't easy. Imagine how much
flexible
better
is that
we
neck?
could see in the dark if we had eyes the size of melons.
This show is such horseshit. I understand it's trying to do the education and the funny and the
Fortunately,
science,
our
but it's
normal
just,
sized
look at it,
eyes
come
do
on.
help us see in the dark. Touch receptors collect information and fire it along nerves up to the sensory cortex of the brain. Scientists have been able to map which areas of the brain receive information from the body. Because our touch receptors are concentrated
This is
in
completely
some
out of
areas more than
context, to be
others,
fair. Yeah,
different
no,
amounts
fair,
of the
fair
brain
enough.
are devoted to our body's sense of touch. We'd look very different if you made a model of our body in proportion to the amount of brain power dedicated
Yeah.
to the touch
No,
receptors.
trust me, Chad,
We
if there
have
was
no-
more context, this would not be hilarious. Homunculus Donkey Kong Oblivion Man would not be as hilarious as it is if we knew the science and the context of the show. Got it.
Enormous lips, tongue, and fingertips, because these are some of the most touch-sensitive parts of the body. That's because when it comes to smell,
Oh, man.
In the back of our nose,
Sensory
there are
homunculus.
about 40
I love that.
million smell receptors, covering an area of about 13 square centimeters. If we wanted to smell things as well as a
But
dog,
why
we'd
is he...
need a much
Oh, because
bigger
dog.
nose.
I was going to say, why is he assuming the position?
The dog's huge snout has much more room
Nice.
for the receptor cells. A German Shepherd can have 2 billion smell receptors covering an area 10 times larger than our nose.
Yeah, it looks like a
If we were
Smiling
like
Friends
the animal
character.
that's number 9 in the countdown, we'd look very different. How
Oh,
would
hey
you
there.
like to date a guy who has eyes that stick out 1 meter from each side of his head?
What's with the hypothetical scenario of like, how would you like to date a guy with a giant eyeball long proboscis? Yes, sounds good. What would you do on this date? Hypothetically, he could see your
You'd have a unique way of looking
Come
at
on.
the world if you were...
Come on. Oh, man. Hummingbird?
How would you like to be able to glide more than 200 times your body length? That would be like flying the length of an aircraft carrier.
The sound
Being
effect.
able to fly is a huge advantage.
It's great. Yeah, the music is getting funny now
To
because of how many
create
times
this
it's
strange
happening.
primate, you need to take the head of a rodent and the ears of a bat, add them to the tail of a fox,
Okay.
the hands
Spore.
of a witch,
This is Spore.
and the body of a monkey.
Wait. The hands of a witch?
Add them to the tail of a fox, the hands of a witch,
What do you mean
and
a
the
witch?
body
Witches aren't real.
of a monkey.
My favorite animal, the witch.
Mix them together, and you get the oddest primate of them all.
Oh.
The Eye, a bizarre nocturnal lemur from the
Who
island
rolls
of
around in
Madagascar.
giant balls.
With an 18-inch tongue, you could wipe
Yeah,
your forehead
I know.
and clean out your nose.
And your ears, too, right? So-
You could even explore inside your ears, which
Oh.
would be really handy if you've got lots of earwax.
that's disgusting, dude. And also, oh, it's like they
About
did the
2,000 tiny glands inside the ear produce the waxy matrix, but it's also mixed up with things like dead skin cells, bacteria,
Oh.
and fragments of hair.
Oh. What about jelly beans?
Yeah, eat it. Eat the earwax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we'd
okay.
have to be built like one, and there are a number of features we'd need. Cheetahs are the only cats whose claws don't retract, which means they dig in like cleats when running.
Cleats.
Our limbs would need to be long and slender to reduce our weight.
Oh god, it's a cheetah man.
But our chests would need to be huge
Like
to accommodate an
Action
enlarged
52.
heart and lungs.
The cheetah man is real.
And we'd need a
Show me
really
the
big
face.
nose to feed lots of air to them.
I'm telling you right now, someone is like looking at that and I'm into that. And it's perfectly normal for them. I just invented a person in my head to be confused by.
But of course, speed comes at a cost. And for the cheetah, it's longevity.
Peak physical form right there. Peak, like, not even human, just
even the most flexible
flesh.
contortionist would be able to swallow something the size of their head, simply because of the way our jaw is connected to our skull.
Yeah, I know. Just show me the next freak.
Most humans can only open their jaw to about 45 degrees. If we wanted to eat like a snake, First, we'd need to add
I
an
know what's
extra
gonna happen
bone
here.
to our jaw to act as a double-jointed hinge. This extra bone
Really?
would
The slide
mean
whistle
that
was
we
needed?
would be able to drop our jaw much lower. And that would give us the ability to open our mouth to a massive 150 degrees.
Yes, chat,
just
the
like
Burger King
snake.
commercial.
But snakes have another trick. They can split apart their lower jaw, which allows the mouth to stretch much wider.
Eat like a snake.
With jaws like a snake,
create a
then
demon.
we too could
That's
easily
just a
swallow
demon. I've
food
seen
that's
this
as big as our head.
in my nightmares. Just gonna leave that in there.
We would look very different if we had jaws proportional to those of an Argentinian wide-mouthed frog.
Oh no.
Instead of having a mouth that's only about 2% of our body length, we'd be smiling out of jaws that were half the length of our body.
Oh no.
Imagine how quickly you could eat your dinner with a mouth that was nearly 3 feet wide.
One bite.
Being able to swallow a whole watermelon could open up a new career in the world of competitive
Yeah, we
eating.
keep doing the watermelon thing.
After all,
like who's eating
it
a
takes
full?
the fastest eaters in the world a quarter of an hour to swallow little more than 11 pounds of watermelon.
Now, are they eating it with the skin?
65 hard-boiled eggs
The bone
would be
of the
just an
watermelon?
appetizer, rather than a meal that takes competitive eaters more than 6 minutes to eat. And you could easily stuff 7 hamburgers into your cheeks, instead of having to chew through them one by one over 10 minutes like they do on the 4th of July at Coney Island.
Oh, yeah, don't bring Coney Island into this, okay?
All you'd need is one big meal that you
I was there
swallow
for
in
that
a
one
single
day,
bite.
by the way. Yes, okay, here we go. Ah, they chickened
You'd
out.
slowly work it down to your stomach.
I wonder if the animators that were on this job knew what they were getting themselves
and then
into.
It would be time for a nap while you digest your dinner.
And have your
You
baby.
need to find a place to rest, undisturbed, for
Oh.
4 or 5 weeks. If you had table manners like a giant snake,
4
you'd
or 5
probably
weeks.
find yourself living alone.
4
One
or 5
reason
weeks.
is hidden in its mouth.
What do you like? What is life but sleep?
Our mouth has 32 teeth specialized for cutting and grinding, but a great white shark doesn't chew its food. It has 56 7-centimeter long teeth for cutting flesh, and to keep them sharp, the shark has 7 rows of replacements waiting in line,
Oh my god!
giving it a mouthful of 392 razor-sharp teeth.
All right, show me the human. It's gonna be Baraka from Mortal Kombat, isn't it?
We'd need an extreme
Worse.
mouth to fit in all those
Worse.
teeth, and even bigger neck muscles to help power those jaws. We'd be able to bite clean through
Get the
bone
fuck
with
outta
an
here
estimated
with this
force
thing.
that's 8 times more than the average human bite. More than 140 kilograms per square centimeter.
All these creatures, like I've made them in Spore.
If you were as big and as strong as a lion, you'd have to bulk up with enough lean muscle to tip the scales at over 220 kilograms.
There are people that look like that, and then they'll tell you it's totally natural.
You'd need a set of 7-centimeter long, razor-sharp claws.
As far as I know, no one has razor sharp claws. You know what? No, I've seen body
And
mods.
10-centimeter fangs.
Also
A
possible,
lion's bite has been measured at 70 kilograms
You could
per
be this
square
guy.
centimeter.
if you
More than
dream hard enough,
to
you could be
shear
this
through
guy, and you have
flesh
enough
and
money.
sinew. And you can't outrun the king of the beasts. It has a top speed of 80 kilometers per hour.
Was the roar necessary?
Imagine if we had jaws like a crocodile. A study in 2002 found that a saltwater
Assume the
crocodile
position.
nearly 5 meters long slammed its jaws shut with more than 1,700 kilograms of force. The strongest bite
Human
yet
big
measured.
challenges.
This would be like being hit by jaws that slam shut with the force of a small truck behind them. And since crocodile teeth are meant for holding, not chewing, crocs rip their prey apart by spinning
Oh,
at
yeah,
up to
spin.
100 revolutions per minute.
Hang on.
They don't call this the... Imagine if we strongest bite yet measured.
Hang on, chat. I got
This
this.
would be like being hit by jaws that slam shut with the force of a small truck behind them. And since crocodile teeth are meant for holding, not chewing, crocs rip their prey apart by spinning at up to 100 revolutions per minute. They don't call this the death roll for nothing.
Yeah. Crawl on all fours like a baby crocodile. Can you do that for me?
Criminologists agree
do that
if
for
we
me?
were looking for a human serial killer, it's likely to be male, unmarried, and aged between 20 and 30 years old.
What?
The profile for our most extreme killer couldn't be more different. We're looking for an adult female.
Huh?
She's pregnant,
What?
and her appetite for blood will double her body size. Her weapons are like some kind of lethal Swiss Army knife. There are blades for cutting,
I thought it was a Pinocchio nose. Like
a
lying.
hypodermic needle for injecting saliva, and a vacuum hose for sucking up blood.
Mosquito.
She'd be one scary femme fatale, if only she was more than a few millimeters long.
Yeah. Her walking like that makes her extra scary.
Bedbugs are number 3 in the countdown because they can drink more than 7 times their weight in blood. Your average human
Oh.
would dream of drinking that much fluid.
Yeah, who wants to get a keg party going?
It would be the equivalent of chugging back about 450 liters of blood. That's enough to fill 7 kegs.
Yeah, give the thumbs up.
Imagine if
This
we
is, by
could
the way-
drink like a tick.
We're on like the 3rd season of this show, apparently, according to the document here. And yeah, there's season 3. So the past like 8 minutes or so have been, or 10 minutes have been season 3. And it's still the same goddamn music every time.
We would need to swallow the contents of a swimming pool. That's more than 38,000 liters of blood. There is one man who came close to sucking up blood like a tick.
Tell me, wait, tell me more.
Dogs are much better at picking up odors than we are, because when it comes to sniffing, size really does matter. If
Okay.
we wanted to smell things as well as a
Okay,
dog,
we've seen
we'd
this
need a
one.
much bigger nose.
We've seen this one. Another one with big nose?
A big snout has much
Dude.
more room for the receptor cells that detect odors.
Okay, no, they added the
A
actual
human
dog
nose
nose.
has about 40 million smell receptors covering an area of about 12 square centimeters. But if we had a snout like a dog, we'd be able to fit over 200 million receptor cells in an area 10 times larger than our nose. Even the shape of the nose enhances the dog's ability to sniff. Air is drawn straight into the nostrils, but exhaled
Wonderful.
out the side of the nose, so it doesn't interfere with the scent trail. We'd have a very different view of the world if we had a nose like a dog.
Well, it's been several seasons. They probably did like a dog nose
Like a
every
gibbon in
season.
the rainforest. You'd be so high up in the air that it would be like swinging between the cables on top of the Brooklyn Bridge. But when it comes to swinging, gibbons have a huge advantage over humans. If we were built like a gibbon, we'd have arms more than twice the length of our body.
Oh man, just imagine what you could do with those things. And there you go. That's it. Like I said, kind of a short pack. But that was amazing. I got a lot of laughs out of that. I think, oh man, the long neck one was really good. I gotta say, the sensory homunculus like nearly killed me. That was wonderful. The shark was really good. This one's great. This is fantastic right here. The show also had a clip of a baby running like Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, it worked. It actually worked because emote, I don't think that would translate very well, small, but these would make amazing emotes, so many of them. You know what? Go for it. If you want to do an emote, I would love, oh man. Donkey Kong Bonanza preview. I would love to see if they would work. Yeah, there you go. That one. That's absolutely incredible. Someone said that the blood stuff, there was someone who made a Bloody Mary with his own blood for like years. I thought the bloody in the Bloody Mary was just like a joke. Like it's like, haha, that's not actually in this. But yeah. It's like, yeah, it's tomato juice and not blood. Vinny, can you show sensory homunculus again? I need him. Wouldn't you be better off with the dude with the long tongue? So yeah, thank you for the cursed segment, and I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know. I just figured why not. I had this for a little while. Today seemed like a good day for it. And just weird stuff like this is perfect for Sunday stream. Also, bonus is the baby running like Sonic the Hedgehog. If only we had the music. If only, chat. New emote GIF. What does it represent? Just fast? Okay. So, yeah, chat. Why don't we take a break, huh? Okay, I'll be back with this weird game, and then we're gonna play some .exe games. Some really, really good ones too. I swear. Stick around. Here's a song called "Kicked in the Taco."